Hi, my name is Julie and I am the teen librarian at the Central Branch Library. I'm here today to tell you about a book called The June Boys by Court Stevens. So in this book, it takes place in Tennessee, and the media there has dubbed this person the Gemini Thief because on June 1st, 3 boys are abducted, and on June 30th the following year, they're released and they're unharmed, and they can provide surprisingly little information about their abductor and their captor to police. So this has been happening for probably about a decade now, with very little leads in these cases. Nobody knows. All they know is these boys were well fed, well cared for, they're fine, they weren't harmed in any way. So Thea, she grew up in Wildwood, Kentucky, near the border of Tennessee. So this Gemini Thief has been in the news her whole life. She's aware of this person's existence, doesn't really think about it too much until Alus, her cousin, goes missing. And when he goes missing, it's about the same time as the Gemini Thief, but when the police are called to investigate, they don't think it's the Gemini Thief because the Gemini Thief has abducted 3 boys already, Chris, Zared, and Rufus. So they just kind of chalk up Alus's disappearance to a runaway. She doesn't believe that, and neither does his other friends and her friends too, Nick, Tank, and Gladys. And so for the past year, their senior year of high school, they have been on their own investigating Alus's disappearance as well as the Gemini Thief because they think that he's being held by the Gemini Thief. So they've met dead end after dead end after dead end to the point that she starts to, they all start to question, do we need to think about people we've never considered before that could be doing this? So for Thea, growing up, she grew up with just her father, not her mother, and growing up with her father was a little different. So for years, he had been building a castle. In fact, he's still building a castle. But for years, he kept it a secret from her. He had never told her about it. And then finally, when he did, she realizes just how obsessed with building this castle he is. He will sleep in his truck at night. He will not bathe for days as he goes to work on this castle. And so it's a little odd. So Nick, her other friend and a friend of Alus as well, he has a sister in the FBI, and his sister has kind of given them a tip. She's not really supposed to, but she calls and warns them and says, hey, they found a body, which is not the Gemini Thief's MO. These boys are released unharmed, so this finding a body is really kind of odd. But Nick and Thea drive out to the crime scene where they find the body because they, want to know if it's Alus, or if it's one of the other boys. And they don't know how they feel because you don't want to find your cousin's body, but you want to know what happened. Well, when they get out there, Nick cannot get out of the car. He just can't. And so Thea gets out, runs into Nick's sister, and she's holding an evidence bag. And in that evidence bag, she sees a keychain with a castle on it and a camo key. And she recognizes it. And so she knows at that point that Alus has been taken by the Gemini Thief. She's convinced. And she knows that that key symbolizes so much more because she knows that key. She has that key. She has the same camo key with a castle keychain. It's a key to her dad's castle that he's been building, and Alus had been helping him. So now she is convinced she has to look at the people around her that she's trusted her whole life. Her dad, her uncles, anybody else that actually knew Alus. So does she have the courage to do that? And can they find him before he possibly dies? Or is he already dead? They don't know, because this is very different results of what's been happening before. There hasn't been dead bodies, and now there's a dead body. So can she find out who the Gemini Thief is before anything bad comes to to Alous and the other boys. So if you are interested in this book, it is called The June Boys by Court Stevens. It is a great book for high school. It's an upper grade level, and I encourage you to check it out.